What's going on, guys? Psychedelic Studios, we're back.
Hey, welcome back. We are here with our new member, Dylan.
Say hello, Dylan.
Yes.
What's up?
So we are here and we're going to talk about, we're going to spit out some hot takes here. We're going to talk about the NBA, talk about who deserved MVP this past season, 2017-2018 season. So this is purely our opinion, so get ready. All right, so before we start this debate, we're going to list off the candidates, the final candidates for MVP. The top three players include...
So we got Anthony Davis from the New Orleans Pelicans.
We got LeBron James from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And we have James Harden from the Rockets.
All right, so let's just dive right into it. And as most know, James Harden did win this year's MVP, and it came with a lot of controversy. So let's just go into the stats here. James Harden this year, he averaged 30.4 points, right? He led the league in scoring. He had 8.8 assists, 5.4 total rebounds, stuff like that. LeBron James, he averaged 27.5 points, 9 assists, 8.6 rebounds. Anthony Davis averaged 8.1 points, 11.1 rebounds, 2.3 assists. Now, to me, when you look at it, in my opinion, James Harden, he deserved to win. All right?
Yeah, it's
set.
It's set in stone right
It's
there.
close. A lot of people thought LeBron James should have won, but I don't know.
What do you think, Dylan?
I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if any three of them won, to be honest, because from the eye test, James Harden would win just with his flashy moves and everything. That's what the people like to see, is the flashy moves. And yeah, he drained buckets when, against good teams, and they had a really good chance to beat the Warriors in the playoffs if Chris Paul didn't go down. But you also got to look at LeBron's side, where he had to carry his garbage team to the finals. I mean, yeah, James Harden was probably the better player this year, but you got to look at what LeBron had and what he had to go through. He did have to go through the Celtics. Granted, they didn't have Kyrie Irving, but it's still a really good Celtics team that pushed the Cavs to the limit. And even Anthony Davis, he kind of went under the radar this year. He silently goes off with the Pelicans, but I feel like he doesn't get any recognition because he doesn't have another superstar on his team.
Yeah.
And when they had DeMarcus Cousins, they did better without Cousins.
Yeah, it
in
didn't
the
really
playoffs.
mesh. It
Yeah.
didn't mesh well, and they played better without him. But to piggyback off of that, when the main argument when they compare LeBron James to James Harden is their efficiency rating, right? Everybody says LeBron James, he had a better field goal percentage, and okay, you're right. But when you look at the stats, James Harden attempted 10 3-pointers per game. Okay, LeBron attempted 5. Now, statistically speaking, that's going to bring down anybody's field goal percentage when they're attempting that many 3-pointers per game.
And James Harden's more of a 3-point shooter
Yeah.
anyway than LeBron.
LeBron's more of a take-it-to-the-bucket guy. You can't really compare it. You really can't.
So, now you guys know our take. We obviously think that Harden deserved what he got. Here is what Kobe Bryant had to say about this whole deal. And I quote, "If LeBron James doesn't win MVP this year, what the hell is he supposed to do to win MVP? Average 40 points, 15 assists, and 15 rebounds? I mean, come on now. Enough is enough." So is he saying that's what you should average to be an MVP, or is he being over-exaggerative? Like, I don't... If you average 40 points a game for an entire season...
You're winning MVP.
That's insane.
Unless you're Wilt Chamberlain, then you lose.
James Harden didn't average 40 points a game.
Yeah, but, okay, James Harden was on the better team. It's harder to put up that kind of stat line on a better team. LeBron James, when you're on a bad team, it's easy to stand out.
Yeah, you can just score.
It's easier to stand out.
Like he did in the finals. Basically, if he didn't have the ball, they didn't score during that entire fast break. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you look at the stats and the efficiency of the Cavs when LeBron's on the bench, it goes completely downhill. I mean, if LeBron's not on the court at the time, their stats just go downhill, and they're a lottery pick team easily. And that's just probably why he went to LA, honestly, because there's nothing left for him in Cleveland other than his legacy to prove that he can stay with one team and win titles. But that's a totally different conversation in itself. But speaking of just MVP, their stats just go completely down when he's off the court, and he has the right to feel like he should get MVP, but like the guy said here, he just wasn't on the better team, and it's easy to make your stats better when you're on a garbage team like he was, honestly.
Yeah. And when people do look at that, and they compare their stats, so Harden, he edged him out in points per game. They essentially had the exact same amount of assists. And you can't really compare rebounds because it's a totally different position. You can't say, LeBron had more rebounds, he did better. But, LeBron did have the efficiency edge on him. They did have the same three-point percentage, but I don't really think much of that because Harden was chucking up threes constantly.
So, do you guys think Anthony Davis didn't have much of a chance to win because of the team he played on and how people might have not even really known who he was because his team wasn't very good, you know what I'm saying? Because he averaged 29 points, 11 rebounds, and pretty much 4 blocks a game. Like, that's a solid guy.
People slept on him. I mean, I think he
feel like
he might have gotten snubbed.
Yeah, he wasn't
He did get
really
snubbed.
thought about much.
I don't know. I don't think it's not a big man's league anymore.
So dynamic.
Yeah, maybe back in the day, like early 2000s, like I don't know. You look at like the 04 or 03, 04 Pistons with Ben Wallace. I mean, he could have won easily Finals MVP because he essentially shut Shaq down in the finals. But when I don't know, it's just not a big man's league anymore, and everybody looks for guard play because they handle the ball the most. But even when Anthony Davis is a big man, he can dribble and move like a guard still.
Right.
He can still shoot threes.
He's got handles.
It's not like he just posts up and bullies people down low and makes dunks. He can shoot threes. He's got handles, and he's got a good mid-range game.
So those were the top 3. And the guy that came in number 4 was Damian Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers. Number 5, Kevin Durant, Golden State. What about those boys?
Well, Kevin Durant's good. Wait, I want to backtrack a little bit for Anthony Davis because defense is overlooked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
that's
fact.
true.
Okay, James Harden and LeBron James, especially James Harden, absolutely disgusting on defense.
Yes.
Now, Anthony Davis, he was top 3 contender for Defensive Player of the Year too, and I think that should hold a lot
Offense
more
shouldn't
weight.
be the only thing you look at when you try to pick MVP because if defense is, if not more important than offense is.
Yeah, you got Anthony Davis out here getting almost 3 blocks per game. Also, his turnover ratio. He only averages 2.2 turnovers per game compared to LeBron's 4.2 and James Harden's 4.4. So I mean,
where was Steph Curry in this whole thing? Did he not have a good year? Was it just because his team is just stacked that they won the whole thing because of it?
Like Kevin Durant said, it's harder to stand out on a good team. So that's pretty.
I'm gonna throw an oddball in this, and it's I don't know. He's only a rookie, but if you look at him the same way you look at LeBron, what about Jason Tatum? The kid's a rookie. He essentially carried the Celtics without Kyrie Irving, without Gordon Hayward, to the Eastern was it Eastern Conference Finals? Yeah, to the Eastern Conference Finals, and put up a pretty decent fight for a team full of rookies against probably the best player in the league in LeBron, essentially. Yeah. Why doesn't Jason Tatum get any look? He's a rookie. I think he averaged around 20 points a game
in the playoffs.
Playoffs. The kid's an absolute stud, and if you look at him, his team altogether without Kyrie and Hayward, not really that good. He had Jaylen Brown, who showed up at times. Aaron Baines, don't even get me there.
Aaron Baines
He's garbage.
Okay.
Al Horford, maybe.
He's all right.
But
he's all right.
Tatum carried his team.
Yeah, and I think he's a big snub for that Rookie of the Year thing. But you look at that too, and that could hurt LeBron, I'd say, for his MVP candidacy because he played that team. That team full of what? Rookies essentially took him to Game 7, and James Harden took the Warriors to Game 7.
Yeah.
Okay? James Harden, he was the leader of that team. There's no way around that. He had the better team, and that's not his fault for having the better team. He plays to win. I don't know, that's just my view on it. I think Harden deserved to win. Honestly, call me crazy. I think LeBron's in third place on this voting because Anthony Davis over here grabbing 11 rebounds, scoring more points than LeBron, similar efficiency rating. He's blocking kids left and right out there. He's playing elite defense. Yeah. I'm thinking it's James Harden, Anthony Davis, then LeBron James.
With the exception of Drew Holiday, the Pelicans really don't have anything either.
That's what probably took Davis down, was that the fact that, you know.
And why can't they look at Anthony Davis the same way they look at LeBron? LeBron had nobody, okay? We all know this. And look at the Pelicans roster. They have nobody also.
It's gross.
Who do they have?
They got like Rajon Rondo who can't shoot. So
exactly.
It's bad.
All right.
All right, so that wraps up the debate about the 2017-2018 NBA MVP discussion. I still think that James Harden deserves it after what he did to his team. He kind of brought him from a middle-of-the-pack team to the top, other than the Warriors. I don't know what Zach thinks.
Well, I do agree. I think James Harden deserved it. I think Anthony Davis really close. I think everybody's really close in this. But I think James Harden deserved it. You know, he can't do much more. He's been doing this for years.
Yeah, I got to say the same thing. You know, it pretty much came down to points per game, and which kind of sucks because defense plays a huge part of it in this. And if it played more of a part in the voting and how they ran this whole thing, Anthony Davis probably would have had a big shot at it too.
Yep.
So thanks for watching this video, guys and girls. We'll see you guys in the next one.